Now, before we get into this entertaining video, we would just like to remind you to like and subscribe.
Yes, please do like and subscribe.
Sunflowers!
Hello, my little munchkins, crones, and sunflowers. How are you? Well, we're at the end of the week, and we hope you had a wonderful, wonderful week, and we hope you having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. With that being said, if you are watching us or you plan to watch us, please thumb us up. We really, really appreciate. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I like to say that and get that out of the way because then I'll start talking and forget. But nevertheless, I have a little incident that maybe I shouldn't talk about, but I'm going to.
Okay.
Baby Crone have a tendency to traumatize plants. She walks over to the plant, almost fall over the plant, and when she was gone from the plant was still trembling. She traumatized. And she keeps the plant in the same area. Now, you know, we move around a lot.
Yes, we
in
do.
our home. It's spacious, so we
Yes.
move around. We have been in like 4 different places. I'm thinking about a whole different place. So anyway, we're moving around. So she says, this room is too small.
It is.
That room is too cold.
Yes.
This room is too dreary. That one is always something.
Yeah, it's always something.
So I like the room with the big window.
I did too.
But that room is what? Too cold.
Yes, and then when it is actually during the winter and all the times like that, it's actually way too bright and we have to pull down the blinds.
Yeah, and you won't be able to see the beautiful outside because it blurs out. I really picked that room for the background, but unfortunately, it would just get me all worked up. So
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, though.
But we did, and that's the reason why. But other than that, we're thinking about another place. But we're thinking, I think I got the perfect place. I think I do. I do. The brown room, the orange room, the brown room, orange, purple.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We could try that. Very earthy.
Very earthy. I don't know. We got to think about it. Well, anyway, enough of that. So let's just get on with what are we today?
Yes, chit chat with us news.
Yes, chit chat with us. We get ready to chit chat. See, that was some news about what was going on in the inner circle. But anyway, it was just nothing but chit chat. So anyway, let's just get into it. Let's keep on chit chatting. We made news, baby Crone.
Yes. Okay. Speaking of which, this is a sidebar. I just want to talk about how September 29th, which is the day after this video is being recorded, is when Earth is going to be having a temporary second moon until November 25th.
I don't know what that means.
That an asteroid is coming close enough to Earth that it gets stuck in Earth's orbit enough to cycle around, I guess, once before it leaves.
But it's only one moon, so how can it be 2 moons?
Because our moon orbits around Earth, and this asteroid will orbit around Earth.
So it appear to be 2
moons.
Okay.
Yes.
So will we be able to see it?
No, not with the naked eye. I know it's a misleading.
So you need a big telescope, or could my meat do it, or you need something bigger than that?
No, a telescope will work just like that.
Oh, meat could do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just throwing out a name. It may not be nothing to nobody, but I was really into astrology. Well, I wasn't really into astrology. I was into astronomy, and then I just got into astrology. So astrology for me, this is how it is for me. I'm chit-chatting, but this is it. Astrology for me is easy concept. It's easy. I get it. The problem is remembering all the signs, the names, the numbers, the asteroids, the this, the that. I understand the concept, but calling them by name and remember the name and the air and the water and the wind and the air and the alchemy of it all.
It's basically like tarot.
It's a language, and tarot is a part of it. And if you get down to a tarot, it's the same thing. It's got to do with the air, the earth, if you want to be a good reader. And it also has a lot to do with intuitivism. And that's something we all have. But some are better at it than others, right?
Yes.
You just have to find where you are in it. Some people, intuitive works, everybody has it. Everyone. We all made kind of equal.
Mm-hmm.
So we all have these things, but it is more prominent in some, like all of us can learn to draw a picture.
Yes.
All of us.
Mm-hmm.
But some of us could just draw naturally. Good at it. Like singers.
Mm-hmm.
We all can go la la la, and some of us can go la 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 la. That was a good one.
Yes, that was a good demonstration of acting right there.
Right. But we all can.
Mm-hmm.
In a matter of training, you may never be good, but enough where you can tolerate yourself and where others can tolerate you. You understand?
Yes.
And speaking of tolerate, it reminded me of Funky Darneva when he was saying he was taking singing lessons.
Oh, yes.
I don't know how true it is, but it made it better where he can tolerate it and maybe others can tolerate him too. So that's what all of this alchemy is about.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
it's either you're willing to sit down and learn it. Now, this is the kicker. It's a lifelong thing. You're never gonna. It's not like learning English. It's like a lifetime.
Yes,
because it's active. Alchemy is active, ever moving.
Yes.
Ever evolving, ever changing, ever throwing you back, ever thrusting you forward, taking you to the side. It's alchemy, and it's the way you want to use it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm talking about this, so I'm going with the flow. If that's what it is, that's what it is. Yes. I will say this. This is just what this is probably what the universe wants you to know, because I don't know why I'm over here, but I'm getting ready to turn the wheel.
Okay.
And go back over there. But I know that this is your favorite subject.
Yes.
You know? Mm-hmm. And here's another tidbit of what's going on in our personal circle. Baby Crone decided to stay in school for about another year and a half because she wants to just graduate with her master's.
Yes.
And there you have it.
Yep.
Now,
skirt.
Turn the wheel around.
Yeah, let's get back on track to celebrities.
Back on track with celebrities.
Yes.
And let's see, who we talking about?
Speaking of good news and unity, we have T.S. Madison getting engaged.
What led us to talk about that?
What do you mean led us to talk about?
Oh, because you came in.
Talking about how a moon, we're going to have a temporary second moon.
That's what I'm like. What? That's what it was. She took me off, knowing that we are so esoteric. So that is such. I already know that there is something going on because I can always feel it. And even though you all can too, if you in tune, it's like from when you don't know. First, it comes off like you feeling, but you don't know what you're feeling.
Yeah.
You know, you could just be having an off day, a bad day, don't feel good for a while. It could last for a few days. It could last a week. It could last off and on for a while, depending on what the earth is going through. But because you're not in tune, you don't know what's going on. You ever have moments where you're like, I don't feel good. I don't know what's wrong with me. Because there's something going on in the universe. And for whatever reason, you're feeling it. I'm not saying we don't get sick and colds and stuff like that. I'm saying when you can't, when it's none of that, you know, you just feeling out of sorts, you know, or things ain't going right and da. It's something going on that has to deal with your make and your kind, you know, and you're not the only one. You know, and that's the one thing I found out here in YouTube land is that if you think you're weird, there's someone weird just like you.
Yes.
You know,
that is true.
So now, speaking of weird, let's go into it.
Yes, T.S. Madison is.
Oh, I didn't mean it. I didn't know she was next. I didn't know she was. Okay. You could have switched up.
Oh, sorry. I don't know what
I didn't. I'm not even.
Weird.
You can bleep it out if you like, but I didn't mean it like that.
Right. Yeah. So next we're gonna. So speaking of which, we're gonna be talking about T.S. Madison next. Yeah, that was a great transition. The energy is just flowing. And it's probably why her and her partner has came together and they're willing to take it to that next level.
I heard they were together for years.
Yes.
Man, I would like to go to that wedding. Or maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just get married at the Justice of the Peace. Well, I would like to go to that reunion. You know, when I think of T.S. Madison and I think about her really getting a man, considering her background, she make me feel, can I say it?
Okay.
Proud. She makes me feel like I'm happy for you. It makes me feel like I know you. I don't know you, but it just makes me feel like you deserve it.
Yeah.
You deserve that.
She does.
You have completely turned your life around. Not that your life was bad. Who am I to judge? We've all been in dark places over this thing or that. You understand what I'm saying? We've all done things that we are ashamed of or things that we care not, but it follows us either through the world because you're famous. If you wasn't famous, we wouldn't know.
That's true.
You know what I mean? If I got famous today or tomorrow, maybe something will come out about me that I don't know.
Yeah, people
I'm sure it will.
Come out the woodworks when you get famous.
Yes. I mean, but I'm happy for her. I am, because she's one to show that it doesn't matter how thick you are. It doesn't matter if you transition your life. It lets the world know, no matter where you come from or what your background, it shows that the sun can still shine on you. And if you're willing to do what it takes and hang in there, your life could be turned around. I believe that. And that shows me that happiness doesn't have anything to do with color.
Yes.
Or race.
Yes.
Or your preference. It has something to do with you working at it. And the reason why I say happy, because like I said, I think I know T.S. I don't, but I feel like I know her. And maybe that's because I peekabooed at some of her stuff. And it made it feel personal. So I guess the reason why I say happiness, because she's sharing it with the world.
Yes.
And she would never share it and tell anybody if she didn't want us to know.
That's true.
So she's happy. And she deserved to be happy. Happy for you and yours, T.S.
Yes.
From the Crones.
Just as a quick side bit, speaking of happiness and reuniting, just to go with the flow of the energy, we're going to talk about this in the Braxtons, but Tawanda also had gotten proposed to by her longtime partner.
See, when I say with that energy, when it strikes, but we're finding it out all of this within a week of each other or days. So you see what I'm saying? When it pours, it may not be pouring in your neck of the woods, but it will. Maybe not now. It may seem like, God, it's been years. Oh, but then if it's been years, then you know it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
You know it's coming. It's like I tell Baby Cone. Baby Cone always say, you know, when you've been studying and you're like, I ain't getting it. I got it, but I don't have it. And you're waiting for that spark of inspiration. You're waiting for one day it just goes. And you understand it fully.
Yeah.
That aha moment. And I say, Baby Cone, it's going to come. She be waiting and it don't come. And then one day, it could be a year from now or whatever. What happened?
It comes.
It comes.
Yes.
Like when you work at it, you just don't give up. You just, no matter what it looked like, you keep believing and saying there is a place for me. You keep working at it and working. And even though you want to give up and pull out your hair, you keep pushing and say, but there is a place for me. But I'm different and I'm odd and I stand out. But you wouldn't be here. And you wouldn't be doing what you're doing if there wasn't a place for you. The reason why I say this is because you can't miss what you don't have.
That's true.
So my niece had lost her eye when she was young. And I would go to her and I would say, What does it look like to not have an eye? Well, she has a glass, so you would never even know it's gone.
That's true.
And so you would say, how? I know I probably annoy her, but I want to know. So I'm like, what is it like? Because she used to could see, but when she was 5. So now she's a grown woman. And I'm like, what? And she says, it doesn't see anything. Now, I don't know what nothing is. Like, she says, I don't see anything. I'm like, I don't know what anything is. So I'm saying, well, what's anything? I don't see nothing. Because I'm asking, what do you see? I said, well, do you see black? She says, I see nothing. So nothing to me is darkness. Mm-hmm. Isn't that deep?
Yes.
But she let me know nothing is not even darkness.
That's true.
I asked her, do you see white? Guess what she said?
Nothing.
I see no white. Now, at this point, she's getting exasperated, like, no, and I don't want to talk about my eye, but she's being polite because, she's a phlebotomist and she works in the industry. So, she in the medical. And I guess she could see a part of me wanting to know, mm-hmm. and a part of me, I don't like talking about it all at the same time. So when she says, she looks at me and she says, I see nothing. And it just silenced me for a second because I thought nothing was darkness. Mm-hmm. I thought nothing is like you turn off the light and come on, work with me.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I thought darkness was. Nothing. I thought nothing was darkness. Mm-hmm. Nothing is nothing. So when we die, we go through nothing. We cease to exist.
Yeah.
The body is cold, dead. There is nothing, no darkness, no nothing. Wow. Sometimes you just have to let things marinate. Mm-hmm. Like you have to really think about that because that is out in nothing. Out in is to meet nothing. So in my spirit, I'm saying, okay, in my end, I meet nothing. Then if I meet nothing, then how do my spirit or my soul or how? It gets crazy.
Right. The argument then could be is that we therefore come from nothing. It's because it's like a baby, a soul just magically appears onto the earth, and then
just by 2 men and women, a man and a woman having friction, mm-hmm. Either way, that egg is meeting. That man is doing his seed, planting his seed in the earth. Mm-hmm. And no matter what people say, the genetic of the baby is by both parents. But the male is the determining factor what color the baby is. Your skin don't matter. Do I make sense?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
See, we so talking about that, like skin, which remind me of
Kamala.
Mm-hmm. This leads me right in transition. Go ahead, baby Crone. That leads me right in to Kamala because of her skin, and to me, and this don't have anything to do with Democrats or Republican, because I want to talk about that. But this is not the time. But it just seems to me when this is for me to even rise up. And you got to understand, I'm the one who spoke on Hollywood Witches.
Mm-hmm, you did.
So I'm the one who rise up. I saw all this before it ever happened. Mm-hmm. Half of that video has been chopped, cut, baked. The original thing, I wouldn't let nobody see it because I was embarrassed because it was so strong. Am I lying?
No, you are not lying.
And even to this day, I have yet to see it. But now it's like I'm coming into a new wave. That's why I say something is happening on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Either you feel it or you don't. And it's intensifying because, and it does have something to do with the equilibrium.
Mm-hmm.
It's something to do with our equilibrium, because either this is a time you're going to be losing weight or you're going to be gaining weight, or you're going to maintain. This is something to do with the weight that's going on in this earth, people. So if it has to deal with the weight, talk to me. So if it has to deal with I feel the word barometer. So it has to deal with something with the equilibrium, with the water in your blood. I hear something saying salt. I'm also picking up salt and chloride, bromide, is anything with a B? Think back to your biology.
I think there is a bromide, yes.
What is that?
That is a good question.
Be ready. You should always be ready, baby Crone. You're the smart one out of us. I don't know. I didn't even know if it's bromate. I don't know. That word is coming up.
So
alkaline. I'm hearing words like alkaline. Words like calcium. Minerals.
Mm-hmm. Well, this one, bromide.
What is it?
It is used, products containing bromide is to help things from preventing to catch fire. So therefore bromide helps is I guess a good way to say is a fire repellent.
Wait. That's spiritual. Go back again. Tell me, read the meaning.
Products containing bromide are used in, here's the full definition, agriculture as a fire retardant. Chemicals that help prevent things from catching fire.
So the weight loss. So what I'm feeling in spirit is the reason why we're having the weight issue is because it's trying to put out the fire. Because when you have weight loss, it has to deal with fat, right? Mm-hmm. And fat has to deal with burning, yes, right? Right. Help me with this. So I get something that has to do. I'm picking this up so strongly.
And the food definitely,
and the food, and people are being affected. So it's something that's going on. So the wise people know to lose weight.
It's also true.
They know. Tell them about that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yep, James Corden.
Go ahead.
Who tried Ozempic and even admitted that it did not help him lose weight, and he realized that his thing is not eating a lot, but for some reason he's gaining weight even though he's not eating a lot. And he thought Ozempic would help him lose weight, and he did not lose that weight. That was just a summarization about him.
Now, I know someone who's in Ozempic. Mm-hmm. Now, they doing Ozempic. They losing weight, but they losing it very, very slowly.
Yes.
Because that's the way that they decide to take the injections. You can take them rapid, or you can take them at a slow pace. Am I right?
Yes.
So maybe he wasn't moving at a faster pace, or maybe he just didn't feel comfortable, because with Ozempic, you could take it at a pace as fast as you want to lose the weight.
Yes.
But that's why you can stay on it as a monitor probably forever, probably. I'm picking up this is not good. You're giving your body a false reality.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying this. The energy is talking. A false reality. And when anything that you do is false, that means it's not real. And that means sooner or later it has to go. Mm-hmm. So let's say, for an example, you have implants. And they put the implants in there, but they movable. They didn't attach it. They just set it in. Mm-hmm. You can keep them, but just buy the material after 20 years, after 30, it might have to be moved. I don't know if I'm making any sense. So it's like there's a measure of time. Mm-hmm. So these people that's on Ozempic taking this weight loss, doing it the fast way. Yes. More than that, I'm hearing you're taking something that you don't need. This is what I'm hearing. You're putting your body in a false sense of reality. You're not a diabetic. So you're treating your body like a person that's a diabetic, that's overweight and needs to lose the weight. Mm-hmm. You're throwing your body into that and making your body believe that your body is doing that chemically.
Yes, which are hormones.
Which are dealing with your hormones, which this is the whole foundation of your being. If you really want to lose weight and you really want to understand it, you really need to see a hormone specialist that deals with your hormones. Mm-hmm. Wow, the ancestors are talking. And it's like, and I'm getting the reason why it is so bad is because we affect the world. The world look at United States for talent. It looks at the United States for fashion. It looks like the United States for how when it's going bad, how the guns and how we fight. They look at us for almost everything.
Yes.
And the world mimic us. Mm-hmm. And even moving on, which leads me to another person in the news, which is her name, the Asian girl. Ray. Something Ray. Try to think.
Okay.
What's her name?
Asian?
She's an Asian girl. Ray, a singer. I'm picking up Ray. She's a blonde. She's very thin.
Oh, Rose.
There
we go. Thank you.
Spirit.
Mm-hmm. Another one.
Go ahead, talk about it.
Yes, and yep, she definitely is having a weight problem that's concerning, and it's just definitely getting worse over the years. And I actually just saw a video where I saw that she was thin. She was in a group of friends, and even one of her friends were just equally as thin as her. Mm. So I'm just like, so she's even surrounded by people.
Who was that girl that you had a picture? Put a picture up that she went like this, stepped back from her and put her arms and went up and down her wrist. Who was that who did that?
That was Lisa.
Lisa did that to Rosette.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. 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 Anything else you want to say about Rosette other than you're deeply concerned?
Yes, I am definitely deeply concerned.
I think they're giving her Botox.
Oh, yes.
And I think they're giving her fillers. Mm-hmm. It's no way her face could be perfectly round like that with that amount of weight loss. It don't even fit. Mm-hmm. She doesn't look real. They pumping her face up. But see, that was a time that America used to be into that emaciated look. Remember? Mm-hmm. Everybody wanted to be emaciated. Yep. Our white models was pasty and tall. They looked like they were like 100 pounds. They were emaciated, where you could see the bones. They looked like they were living in some country that didn't even get food. That's how bad they look. Yes. And now this is what the Asians are doing. Mm-hmm. With the blonde hair.
Yes, with the blonde hair even.
See, we affect the world.
Yes, we do.
And it would be such a travesty. We go back to that false sense of reality because we're doing Ozempics, because we're teaching the young people and the world, here's a shortcut.
Yes.
Now, you may say, these are the ancestors speaking, so speak on. So when it comes down to somebody like Oprah, I use her because I represent myself as Black, okay? All right. So here's Oprah, and because of all the things I say about her, I do admire her and I respect her. I really do. But just because you admire someone and you respect somebody doesn't mean you have to like everything they do. And as a citizen, just like she does, I have a right to speak out on those things I don't particularly like about Oprah. The ancestors said Oprah has lived long enough to be able to control her flesh. And until she can learn to control her flesh, it's all a fake. Okay. So if you're faking here, you're faking there. You could be caught up in anything because at the end of the day, you should be able to put your flesh under subjection. With all that spirituality she speaks, she has been, from the time I've known Oprah to this day, and Oprah's in her early 70s, she's dealing with weight. She has never been able to master that in her life. And that is one of the things that she's here to do. If she can, but she thinks she's fooling but she feels, let me go and tell the world that I'm taking Ozempic. So you turn the world onto Ozempic, even though the world was probably doing the rich. But you, Oprah, brought it out to the world.
Yes.
You did. Not only did you get paid, but you did that thing, the same thing you did with Weight Watchers. You did the same exact thing. Left Weight Watcher, because at the end of the day, you don't know how to control your appetite. And no matter how many shortcuts you take, you're going to have to learn to deal with that, for real. We all got crutches. We all have to learn that that's what you came here for. And if you say, well, money don't mean anything. Yes, it does. It shows through your weight that you love to eat. You have a thing for food. You're in love with food. And we know, because if I was from another country and I saw a fat person, you're not going to convince me they ain't rich.
That's true.
Because how you going to get fat? In my country, ain't nobody fat. In my opinion. And true. I know that because I'm not a foodie. So I don't eat. I don't like, if I didn't have to eat, I really wouldn't. But when I eat, I enjoy, I eat every day. I don't want you, I eat every day. I'm small. I'm 119 pounds. That's because I'm on my big day. Sometimes I'm 120. But I run between 117 to 120. If I'm really showing off, 121. But by that time, I'm freaked out. That's true. I'm gone. I watch my diet. I watch my stomach that it doesn't get fat. And baby Crone, she follows me and does it work?
Yes, it does definitely work.
I may not be able to tell you this, but I know how to tell you how to maintain.
That's true.
I know how to do that. If I say my stomach getting fat and I need to, but one of the things that I also learned that is very, very important, you must keep your insides clean. You must keep your colon.
Yes.
You must do that. You need to see a doctor. And if that means you take a laxative just to clean out your colon every couple of months, I think that's important.
Actually, it is definitely important because I did learn through the relationship in astrology how important. Now, I knew when my teacher said this, how amazing the human body is. But literally, the human body is a tube. You enter through your mouth and you exit through the booty hole. And in astrology, medical astrology, all the signs are related to each other. So therefore it's about duality and all that. So Taurus and Scorpio therefore Taurus represents how you take in food, and Scorpio represents how you
expel.
Yep. Oh. So like you said, releasing your colon.
It's very important. And one of the things that I'm learning is as you get older, your colon and things like that become lazy. The older you get, body slows down. You don't have that testosterone. You don't have that estrogen. And so as you get older and as you start hitting 40 and then you hitting 50, menopausal, and men go through menopause, and then you have your 60s and your 70s but by the time you're at your 80s, you're old.
Yeah.
But you can preserve your life. But these people that's taking shortcuts, it's only going to come back and hit you in the end.
Yes.
Because either you're going to wind up not being able to eat. Why? Because you're training yourself not to eat. You're training yourself not to eat for long periods of time.
Yes.
And when you do eat, you're training your body saying, I only need a little bit. I can only eat a little bit at a time. You're training yourself. You're training your mind. You're reprogramming your mind.
Yes.
You're reprogramming what you learned as a child. You're reprogramming what you came here to be like. You came here to learn to control this avatar. But instead of you controlling your avatar, because you got all this decadence, you think there's a shortcut. There is no shortcut. How do you know? Because they're showing us with food.
Yes, they are.
We're running out of food. So they're manufacturing food so it can last. Why? Why do we need food to last? A, because you just can't go down the street and pick up off a park of trees. If somebody had trees in their yard and they had all, I can't climb over the fence or go in the garden and start picking. I either get buckshot or police called on me or beat up by dogs.
That's true.
Or the groundskeepers or whatever. So you can't walk down the street. But on a side note, there is a place that they tell me called heaven. And it says that on those streets, they're going to be 12 manner of fruit that you can eat that will give you eternal life. So whenever you're feeling low in your spirit, or whenever you don't feel yourself glowing like you should, or maybe you got a block, I don't know what it is, but it's good to think about these things. You can go and there is a fruit for every ailment in your body. Now they said 12. Now I know something about the body got to have 12 something, baby Crone. Is there anything that has the number 12 in the body?
Yes, actually, if we want to be technical,
I want to be technical.
There are 12 rib cages that you have.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
12?
Yep, 12. 12 real ones. And then you have, I think, like 6 more that are cartilage that are your false ribs.
You have 12 real ribs. Real calcium built ribs.
Yes.
And wasn't it the Bible said he took one of them ribs?
Now the question is, did he take
12?
He could have taken it from
and those 12, meaning I don't know. Look, I'm just tripping. But I'm saying, but those 12 trees have to deal with the healing of the body. And it's amazing that you talk about there's 12 ribs, and he took one of those ribs for the healings of the body and to make a nation.
And also just to briefly talk about how, back to astrology, there are 12 zodiac signs.
12 zodiac signs. There were 12 disciples. I mean, we could go on about the number 12.
Or 3. Which it reduces down to, since there's no double digits in numerology.
Or you can go 6. Can I go 6?
Yeah, that's split into 2s, which is a pair, and duality, which is all about what
Can I go 4?
Yes, you can go into 4, which would be in groups of 3.
But if you notice, all those 3 numbers that we named, they have to deal with balancing.
You're so right.
Every number, you know, 3 good, but it ain't. You can balance well with 3, but I don't think 3. I want to sit on a 3-legged chair. I can have a 3-legged table, but a 3-legged chair, I don't know.
I understand,
and not that I can't. Because they had those chairs that you could sit on. They had 3 and you could spin around a stool. So I'm not saying you can't, but if you really want to get comfortable, how about a 4-legged chair? Or when it's a car, you could drive a 3-legged something, but wouldn't you feel more comfortable in a 4-legged car than a?
I would.
Anyway, what was you thinking about? That took you somewhere. Where did that side come from? Go ahead. You was in there. Where it was? Take me.
Just thinking about the number 3 and 4 and dimensions in our reality.
Oh, you went somewhere. Go ahead, share. That's that moment.
It was.
Okay, go ahead, share.
Talking about how we're in a 3-dimensional world, and yet in our 3-dimensional world, we say that a square or 4 legs is stable. Yet, if we go into the spiritual realm, which they call the 4th dimension, they say above, they say 3 is stable.
3 is
stable. So
it's
kind of reverse. Here in 3, we say 4 is stable, and in 4 they say 3 is stable. And I'm just like, why is it
interchanged? Because they're probably so close connected.
You're right. It's that infinity loop.
It's that infinity loop. It's that right there. That's that first change right there when you say, how can this be? How can 3 be stable? And you say 4 is stable. That's that loop right there. And that coming from the head, coming down, that's that interchange. And if you're looking at it from the Kabbalah, or you're looking at it, I believe that's that change, that's that darkness, that place of knowledge, that transition. Right there, when you ascend from the head, you go through a state. And I even see it, I think, at that place from nothingness. That's everything. But you're coming from a void, a vortex. I see it as something round, but like a circle. And once you come through nothing, you done stepped into another dimension of time and space. So now everything is limited. It's like you can only go up into the atmosphere in a capsule and last so long without refilling it with air. You understand what I mean? Or having some kind of device that you could do this. But without some kind of artificial device, you will die.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. So when you come into Earth, there's only a certain amount of years that you can live here because of all of the debris that is thrown around.
I like that.
You like that?
Yes, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Go ahead, elaborate. The ancestor speaking. I love it. No, go ahead. The ancestor speaking.
Because it also reverted back to, because he was using the key word that we started off with, which is talking about nothing. He was talking about how we come from nothing and we have this limited amount of time, just like any other thing where you can only be down in the water for a certain amount of time before you got to refill, or you can only be so far up in the air.
That's right. Every element, you can only stay in fire for so long before you go out. It's true.
Yes.
Yep. Go ahead. That's so deep.
That makes sense that we are only on or in this plane of existence for a certain amount of time before we have to go back.
You have to go back to where you come from. You come from nothingness. What do you mean? That void. In other words, when you go from in order to get here, there has to be, okay, I'm going this way. Here we go. Let's say this is the void. I'm here. Baby Crone is over here, but Baby Crone wanna come in here and she wants to be born. So she got to go through this void, this darkness or this nothingness. It has to be a state where your body detached, where you know it's nothing, where it's nothing. I don't know what nothing is because, like I said, as many of you, nothing could be white. Nothing could be darkness. Nothing could be shadows. Nothing could be dots. I don't know what nothing is, but nothing means you don't see, you don't know, you don't feel, you have no attachment because it's nothing there anymore. So whatever element you was, you go through the void because now you're going back to where you was. Because that's why I was like, what happened to the spirit? But fortunately, I was asking, what happened to the spirit, right? And the spirit went right through back when you die. It may linger or whatever, but it may be afraid to go through the void. But I don't know because the spirit is still fresh. There's so many levels to this. Right. But nevertheless, it has to go back through the void. Now, when it goes, this is where I think you might get lost or a moment in the void. And as you see, it's thin. But when you go through it, it could feel eternal. Before you go back to your powder. Or whoever you was. Or wherever you was. But you'll never remember it in the way that you remember it now. Why? Because that's gone. It no longer exists. It served its purpose. It's an old model. Unless you know what it is, you can't call it. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why the God of the Bible says, I have many names. It will never tell you. The God will never. They'll say Elohim, God, Jesus, whatever. Yahweh, Hashem, whatever, Buddha, whatever name, it will never give you its full name. Why? Because if you have the name, I'm starting to understand I can call it at will. Because it's what's attached to it. Because I called a thing. Whatever it is, once I know it by name. Oh, that's so deep, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when you get into witchcraft, if someone say, I want you to call up Becky, you coming to me, and this leads me to Kate Tamar. You come to me and you say, tell me about Becky. Now, the more I know about Becky, the more I can summons up Becky, right? Yes. But because the world don't trust, so the world I want you to act like you know. But like I say this, I could say, when speaking of Tamar, when I pulled up her sister, I got a different feeling.
You did.
Now I did. Now I can't speak for anybody else. I did get sorrowful. I did. But what I did get when I was sick, I didn't want you to know. I didn't want you at my bedside. In my heart, I felt like that's the way I could just get you back for everything. I don't want you to share in my death. I don't want you to share in my pain. You have been so hard to love. That's how I feel. That's what I got. You have been so hard to love, Tamar. You have made me feel bad about myself. I was already feeling bad, and you made me feel bad, and I am angry, but I forgive you, Tamar. Because if I want to move on, I have to forgive you. So I'm glad that we shared those days. I am happy. It means the world to me because I could leave this world knowing that I wasn't mad with you. But I had been mad with you for so long, Tamar. It was only when I went through the void that I realized that I was harboring still resentment. That's why I didn't want you to know. I knew that would hurt you. And that's why I did it. Now, saying that, I don't know Tracy at all. But that's what I got earlier. Yep. That's what I got the other day. I did not get that rosiness. It is rosy. It is. However, when Tamar cried, if I was there, they would have been real tears because that's what I got. And I hope this message reached Tamar. I really do, because that's how she felt. But in order for her to go on, it's like I'm free. I'm free from that. I'm lingering here because y'all calling me by name. Help me.
Yeah, that's true.
If you have an ancestor and you know them, you can deal with their energy. You can call them. They will come to you. They proved it. She even appeared to prove to you and the world. She made a grand stand, and many of you won't believe it, but that's okay because you still got to die. So she made this grand stand with any kind of bird, but it was a hummingbird. And hummingbirds don't usually do that. So they were in some place that have exotic birds. I know because I live in the woods, and I used to live in Virginia. And so they teaches you how to get the hummingbirds to come. You have to put that sugar water and have a color, and you have it hanging, and they will come. And they can flutter in one place that they go so fast, and they could just stand like that and do that.
Yes, they can.
And just dart off. But she came and she danced with them. Now, how does that work? It wasn't her, really.
No.
But maybe her energy.
Yeah.
These are the things we cannot understand. Not today. Maybe one day. Maybe when the world is really ready to be destroyed. Maybe when the sun is a little closer. Way closer. Maybe when it's hot in places and the glaciers has turned to water. And maybe when we're in a place and, it's going to happen. And maybe when it's at that day, at that time, people going to want to know what is it like to die. And maybe at that time, the secret of death will be revealed. Because it is a mystery. And just like we found the mystery of how in the John Brown Mercy could Mary have a baby and not know a man.
Yeah.
That was, but they proved it. Surrogacy. She didn't have to know a man. He could have taken some sperm and put it up in her. And she ain't never known. So we've seen that mystery, right?
Yeah.
There are so many mysteries that's going on in the earth today, but that's saved for another topic. So anyway, I went all the way off on Left Street because of Baby Crone.
But we pretty much almost talked about everybody we wanted to.
We talked about everybody, but we're going to go on, and I'm going to say this is part 2, and I'm going to just do it like this. I hope you enjoyed it. That was the ancestors needing to speak. I wish that I could show you my ancestor table because it's sitting right there.
Literally right
behind you. I wish that you could see it. And sometimes this is why I'm in this room. I'm more charged than other times because I'm right here. And what baby Crone and I are thinking, especially when people say, I want you to move to another room. I'm like, you don't even know where I am.
That's true.
I think a part of me, I don't know what you feel, but I feel as though they like it that we are part of it and they can interchange and come in. They're very respectful. But like when it's moments like this or the old Crone, just know I'm in the area of this. Baby, is there any way you could show them that picture? Maybe, no, where they could see. Could you get up and show them the camera? Just show the table real fast and switch it back. Okay. Just, and I can help you with that. Just let them share the table and try not to show the light because we got a lot of lights around us.
Okay.
Oh, don't hit the plant. Don't hit. Okay, gently. Can you just pick up the tripod and just show them, please?
Okay.
No, just leave the light. Nobody, just pick up the tripod. The tripod, yes. And just pick it up gently. Okay. We have the floor. We have the floor. Yeah. Just so you can see. Oh, there it is. Oh, turn it over around a little bit more. Yeah, and there was one time I practiced Buddhism, and that's my Butsaban or whatever it's called, but that's there. That's the table. I like my stuff, as you can see. I like things around me. I like things a little cluttered. So that's my holy table. Okay. Hello, ancestors. I showed you to the world. I don't think you would mind. Well, if you do, just blot yourself out. Okay, turn it around. And as you can see, I'm facing a door. See, I'm still by a window, and now we're with me.
There we go.
Let's see if let's try it like that. Can you bring it up some? No.
Yeah,
you're not all the way in. You're not. Oh, yep. You in.
There we go.
Do you know how hard it is for us to do that? Yes. How is that? And you know what? You just look like sunshine.
Oh, thank you. I was feeling bright today.
Yeah.
Actually, honestly, I have been following Gaia. We love watching Gaia.
We do love Gaia.
Their Instagram is literally popping with good inspirational quotes. I am enjoying my time looking at Gaia's Instagram account.
Okay, so you can tell me about Gaia. What is it that you're looking for?
Nothing. They just talk about stuff about spirituality and basically what I will call New Earth, trying to get you into that mindset.
Okay, so we're going to run a little late, but as you can see, I hope you enjoyed that segment. That was the ancestors and what I said from now on when I came in this room and when Lady Crone showed up. And Mama remember, Crone. This is the look. Well, okay. Mama Crone showed up. When she showed up, this is her look. This is what she used to look like. And for whatever reason, I was inspired to go back to this. So there's something definitely natural happening. So I hope you like the new look. We're going, I like, I like
it's a nice blend of the two.
Is it? I like bangs, brown, but this is how it was when I like light hair. So not baby Cole said no blonde.
Curly and not straight.
I love curly hair. I've always loved curly hair. My hair is curly like this in real life. If when it grows out, but you all know I have locks, but my hair this is the texture of my real hair in real life.
Yes. It's true.
So what are we going to do? Here.
Talk about news.
Okay, so you were saying, I want to mention something to you. I wanted to say to you is, what are you going to eat? I'm hungry.
That's honestly a good question. Hopefully the steak should be unthawed by now.
Okay, so we're going to have dinner. Okay, that's good. So let's just get on it. So I'm going to call this part 2. Well, hello, everyone. Well, we went all the way over there in Neverland. Yes. I can't wait to sit back and look at it again to see what all that was all about. But I'm in this sacred place. And I know many of you wish I'd go back to the other place. But if you've seen how beautiful this place is, it is serene and you do feel the energy. Mm-hmm. And we don't come in here undressed. Every time we walk in this room, we are fully clothed or a robe. We don't use profanity in here. Maybe now a little bit because I'm here and they understand. But this is the most sacred place. And who is that?
Nothing. It was just Facebook.
Oh, this is one of the most sacred places. And if you were here, you will feel it. Mm-hmm. It is very place where you can come in and lay your burdens. And no, now I don't know if it'll work with you because I have different ancestors. Because my ancestors may go, who are you? Or Itchy might go, well, I don't know, because it's, they my ancestors.
This is what happens when strangers come in. You're just
they'll say, like when Oakley came that time, he said, this room will give me the heebie-jeebies, because he didn't, and I didn't even know he would even notice it. And I noticed other people come that says they feel, so you feel the presence. Yes. So if you wanted to put a table up in your house, it don't have nothing on it but a candle and some water and a flower or nothing. That's it. You would appreciate. You just got to tend to it just like you would a plant. And just put it in a place where it's not a lot of traffic. But it's a lot of traffic here. So I'm here. I must be drawn here. So I'm here, and I'm here with my ancestors. So every time we're here, we know we're with the ancestors. Yes. Now, with that being said, so we talked about Lizzo and her weight and about how people are really getting on her about that.
Yes.
And Lizzo said that this doesn't bother her, but I told Baby Crone it does. Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. It does. It would bother anybody. This is what I'm saying. People, you don't have any idea the pressure Hollywood put on you. Mm-hmm. I'm sure when Lizzo first started this walk and playing that flute, she is talented. No doubt about it. Take away her voice. She can play that flute. She could be a classical flute. Yeah. She can play the flute. You can do whatever you want, but you can't take her talent, right? Mm-hmm. So my thing is that when you come in, she's probably been held. Her weight probably never been a problem. Her weight probably played for her instead of against her. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure she heard negativity. But now that she's in the limelight, she's got to deal with the world. And the world are people like you. That's you. Mm-hmm. People like her. Point to me. Mm-hmm. And like people like me.
Yeah.
So we got to deal. And the people of the individuals.
Mm-hmm. Everybody.
That's all around. And everybody. And so this world, I don't know about the world, but I know in the United States, it has this feeling that it always get off on tearing down.
Yes.
It has no problem in ripping you to threads. No. It has no problems to go and find your darkest secrets and bring them out to the open and say, no more sheets.
Yeah.
And you know why it's like that? Because that's how our government is. Our government is like that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Our government will trample over anybody.
Yes.
It will tear down each parties. Mm-hmm. It will rip the threads. It will go and find information just to make another person look bad. Yep. They just claw and grab and beat. And so we are the descendants of our forefathers and mothers.
That's how they raised us.
You like that?
Mm-hmm, I do.
So when you start thinking, wait a minute, I'm like my government, change and say, I don't have to be like my government.
Yes. And the government will follow.
They follow and they fight and they teach you how to act. They twerk when it's good.
Yes.
They use profanity when it's in their favor.
Oh, yeah.
They'll talk like a yo if they had to. Hey, yo, homie. Mm-hmm. They'll do whatever it got you. Just every 4 years, you can count on mom and papa showing up fighting. And what they fighting for? Because they want to know who's popular.
That's what it really is.
They just want to know who's popular between them. You ain't got no really reason about who's going to be president. Your vote is you're popular. And they don't take that, especially now when they already took an assassination on the president. That was just a warning shot. Because if they wanted him gone, whoever the powers to be, to have that man there that got there and was there, all this is just crazy. But I said that the same thing about, what was Trump's wife,
Ivanka.
That was another death that my spirit was grieved to the shinglingles, right?
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, what was I talking about? I'm talking about news or something.
Yes, you was talking about Lizzo and her weight.
And so people will talk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. And you got to be a strong constitution. And as you see, Lizzo wasn't strong.
No.
She succumbed to it. But what made her wise? She succumbed, but she made sense out of it. See, Oprah hasn't been able to do that. The thing with Lizzo is, will she maintain it? Okay. See, everybody can start. We all know what it's like to start and get progress, but to stay on that road. Oprah has said to us, I can't do it. Mm-hmm. But she's going to have to. But I can't do it. Lizzo is saying, I can do it. Now, as far as Lizzo is saying, I can do it, and I'm going to do it the healthy way. So yes. Lizzo is doing it on her own. So if she sticks with it, it may take a few years. It'll come a way of life. Mm-hmm. That's how I did it. Yeah. Because I come from a family of obese people. So for me, I did not want to be. So I started going to gym, talking to people. That was during the time when it was exercise crazy mania
how in the far world. We've gotten from those times.
It was exercise mania. What's his name? He just died, the white guy.
Oh, Richard Simmons.
When Richard Simmons, it was really a time in America where exercise was king. You know, you even seen Kris Jenner have a video. Yes. It was really a time. And now we're not into that. We're into eating healthy, proteins, these drinks for an active lifestyle. It's like we promote it, but we promote more activity, like get busy, eat healthy. We promote the exercise, but not like we used to, mm-hmm. if that makes sense.
Yes.
We do, but it's more about supplements is mm-hmm. what we promote now.
Yeah, way of life.
A way of life is supplements, and you got as young as you are, not about old people, young, but just young, just supplement. This is another way to live. Get on supplements. Yeah. This is the life we're living in. Mm-hmm. Supplements, any kind of supplements, and because of the food.
Yes, that's another big thing.
The food.
What we eat is supposed to supplement us with the things we need. But if our food is being tampered with, mm-hmm. then we just may not be getting certain things because the certain higher ups are having a certain
the government control our food. Mm-hmm. You just can't go out and that's why they don't like other plants and stuff coming in this country for that and for other reasons, for diseases and pestilence and stuff like that. Definitely. But also they don't want no strange fruit coming in here. Mm-hmm. It may be a fruit that can heal people. You better get that up out of here. Yes. You can sell it to us. Mm-hmm. The government don't want you well. No. There is no money in health. There is no money in good health. No. So if you want good health, you got to do it. So when I see people like Oprah out there taking those Ozempics, I feel sad. She makes me feel bad because she just showed me, and I love her. I do. She's weak. And she admitted. Mm-hmm. She admitted.
Yes, she did.
But she still had to come up. You're going to have to come back. Oprah said that her plan was that when she died, she wants to go beyond. That she have completed her task and she don't ever have to come back here again. Oprah, you failed. You got to come back. You still ain't make it over that wall, girl, until you can master that weight. You're 70. You're getting old. You're going to have to do how many years? How many years until it connects? Until you have an aha moment. I get it. Mm-hmm. I get it. It could take 3 years. It could take 5 years. It's up to the individual. It could take 10. I don't know. It's just a way of life until you get it. Yes. What do you say? Who struggles with it?
Yes.
Do I do it easily?
Yes. It's really just about having the dedication and
discipline,
holding yourself accountable and responsible. And I think I heard this word just recently about being like not breaking the word with yourself. If you're going to, making boundaries with yourself. If you're going to tell yourself, I'm not going to like eat this day, or I'm going to be mindful about my health, then mm-hmm. you're going to actively put towards those boundaries so that way you don't go over them, because you set boundaries for a reason, for the sake of your health in this mm-hmm. case. And
you can set boundaries in any area of mm-hmm. your life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And once you go over past those boundaries, you lack the discipline, you're broken word with yourself.
Warning. It should go off the moment you step.
Yeah.
And open until you can cross that wall. Mm-hmm. You mastered nothing. What do you mean? You haven't been able to deal with the spirit of gluttony.
That's exactly what it is. Nothing else you could say about that.
And your vanity, your hunger, the desire to be thin. You deceive the world. And it's a hard road. You'll be better off just going the rough way and showing the people, if you are diabetic, but you didn't tell us that, Oprah. You said that you're taking it because you're weak. We get it. But you still got to cross that wall.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, James Gordon said he took it. It didn't work.
Yeah.
He said, I'd rather just going back to the way I was. Because he said, I learned something.
Yeah.
What did he say? He said, I learned that my eating doesn't have anything at all to do with weight. I mean, it gains weight, but it has something to do with me.
Yeah.
How did he say it?
Yeah, that he's not eating because he's hungry.
We agree with that. How many times we munch out and not hungry? And we just want something and don't know what to fill it with. But food seems to do it.
Yep. I think that's what they call filling your boredom with something.
And food does it. It's a comfort. Food is a comfort, you know. Now, with that, so I say this. So I went on about this because I am so proud of Rizzo. And if she should fall off the wagon, well, it's just like being an alcoholic. Well, you get up and you go back on it again, but you don't give up. Let's just hope that Oprah just fell off and now she'll come back and she'll fight this thing. Maybe she'll get off of it, and maybe she just won't be able to eat like the Sharon Osbourne.
Okay,
it left her with no appetite. This is what Gordon is saying.
Yeah.
You're teaching yourself not to eat.
Yeah.
And although you are where that weight is, and you feel like, oh my God, I look so good. Well, what happens is you're not taking the shot, and you still finding you can't eat. How you think you're gonna feel? Losing weight and you don't have no control. That's happening to several people. How many people is happening to? We don't know, because we don't know how many people are taking Ozempics. However, I'm not speaking against Ozempic at all, and neither are the ancestors. But what we are saying is we're living in a false sense of reality.
Yes.
And whatever you do false, meaning it's not real. That means that you're going to have to do it. It's going to fail. Because a false sense only lasts but for so long. Would you agree?
Yes.
You can only fake for so long. You know, here's another one. Diddy has faked for 30 years, but the chicken did come home to roost. And because Oprah is 70, it may not take her 7. It may take her 10 when she's 80. We don't know. But anything false, meaning it's not real. It's not real. You know, you're putting this infliction on your body. You're saying, I got to deal with this. You're taking medicine that belong to a diabetic. You're treating your body like you are diabetic. Yes. When you can treat your body like a diabetic if you go on a diabetic diet and eat the way a diabetic eat.
Yeah, which is
and measure out your starches, you will. We tried that.
Yes, we have.
So they work. So with that being said, I'm proud of Lizzo. Who do we have next?
Yes, talking about false realities, let's really start talking about Kamala Harris and her now for real ambiguous race at this point.
You know, I want to know, now that Candace Owens have brought this to the light, I want to know, what does The View feel now? Speaking of The View, I got some light news. One of those persons are leaving. Coda?
Yes, Coda.
She's leaving. She won't be doing the broadcast. She's going to be home with her kids. She's 50-something years old, isn't she?
She
Shakota, what's her name?
Hoda. She is 60.
Wow. Yes. And she got 2 youngins, and she's retiring and going to take care of her kids. Good for you, Hoda. Now back to that. That just popped in my head. Thank you, ancestors. Go ahead.
So apparently the question is Kamala Indian? Is she white?
But they saying she's not black. Her father, and like I said, it's who the father is. Kanye children are black. Why? Because they're mixed in the sense of their DNA. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because the father is the one that plants the seed. The mother has the seed in utero, the embryo, and it connects. Okay, I'm gonna need your help.
Okay.
The best way I can explain this is I had a problem with the Brad and Judy.
Okay.
If they broke up, I was trying to figure out how in the world could the Brad claim that not her baby when she carried the baby for 9 months. She fed the baby. She housed the baby. However, that baby has no thing with the brat. Nope. The only time that baby had anything to do with the brat is when that baby was in utero. Yes. Because it needed her hormones. Mm-hmm. She's feeding it. At that moment, she's there she's a temporary what do they call them? Surrogate. She's responsible for the baby's life. The baby's life is in her hands. The health of the baby is in her hands. Mm-hmm. Everything that has to do with that baby is in the hollows of her hand. Once the baby is born into the earth, it detaches itself from the woman that carried it. Mm-hmm. And so it becomes Judy's baby.
Yes.
But because they are allegedly married and because they had that as a family, that makes it both their baby.
That is sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. So in the spiritual realm and the realm of what I'm talking about, Kamala, that's that separation. Why does it matter? Because who the father is determined, and people argue with me about this.
They really do, honestly.
People say it's the mother. How? You can't implant and get nobody pregnant.
No, you can just nurture.
You can only nurture. That's what we're here for. Yes, the wonderful thing is if he get you pregnant, so when the baby still detaches, it has your DNA. Whoo, that's so deep. How? I don't understand. How is it that when it detaches from the mother that's carrying the baby, it has the DNA of the surrogate? Mm-hmm. But once it detaches itself, I guess I'm thinking the way this work is, I'm not a biologist or this, so I'm just trying to figure this out. So the way I'm thinking is the baby has to, because the baby, the sperm has to connect, the seed has to connect. And if it connects to that egg, it's already joined as one.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it don't matter who carried it. So either we had a baby and this is why it's no room for the brat to be the baby father, because it was already germinated. It was okay.
Mm-hmm. And also speaking of blood, mm-hmm. and since DNA is in the blood, I do believe that the way the blood circulates for the baby and the mother is that the mother's blood doesn't actually ever intertwine or mix with the baby's blood. So therefore, if that's the case, then there's no way that that the blood or DNA could intertwine or intermix with each other. So it's two separate. And the only reason why I know this is because the little research I did on rare blood types.
Oh, right, we did do that.
Yes, mm-hmm, that mm-hmm. If a mother has this specific...
The baby don't even have her blood. No. Unless she dealt with a man that have her blood type, and that's what I would have done. Mm-hmm. I would have made sure we had the same blood type. Because if anything happened, I can give that baby blood. Woo, that's deep. Go ahead, baby clone. Yes. Good girl, good girl.
But yes, in the rare cases of if there's some hemorrhaging in the mother's blood mixed with the baby's blood, if that mother had that rare genetic blood and it mixes with the baby's blood, then that could put the baby's life in jeopardy. So that answers the question of how could the brat carry the baby and the baby comes out, or any surrogate houses a baby and the DNA doesn't come out with that surrogate's DNA.
And because, now you don't have to believe it, but I'm just talking. And because, speaking of this situation, y'all know I'm a Bible person, so I love the Bible. So that's a book that I try to mimic my life to. Not all of it, but things that I believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm fascinated with these stories, okay, because they're so old. They come from the Anunnakis. These stories come from the ancients of the gods of the aliens. They are the ones that put these stories out hundreds and thousands of years ago, all the way back in the Stone Ages. And these stories has made it through time. Here a little, there a little. Everything we know is in part. Just here, but this is what we have from the annals of time. Do that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so I find it fascinating. So anyway, getting back to this story, and then we're going to move on. This reminds me of Jesus and Jesus' pregnancy. So why was Jesus different? Because he was impregnated by a God, Mary was impregnated by an Elohim.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't penetrate her.
Right.
He probably put it in her.
Mm-hmm.
She fell under the sleep.
Right.
He put her under the sleep.
Mm-hmm.
He did, and he injected her in it. And we know that there are a lot of abductees said that they had been put to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happened. And so she was impregnated with a holy thing that is a mutant in a sense, half human. It was a humanoid, half human and half divine.
Mm-hmm.
Half God-like, half man-like. Why? He couldn't fly.
Right.
One of the things that Jesus would say is, I can't be everywhere at one time. I can't, I'm limited in my flesh. He said, but you won't be. You won't. Greater things. Why? Because we got the internet.
That's true.
Something can happen right now in the Middle East and we can all see it right at the same time.
That's true.
All over the world. He was speaking that. So when you look at these things, you can go back and go, okay, he made a point. So because he was half human, half divine. So he knew the beginning from the end. But what he said he didn't know, he said, I don't know the time. But when you see these things will let you know that the time is nearing. So I'm saying, I've been seeing these things all my life. I mean, it's getting worse, but I've been seeing hurricanes and tornadoes and people destroying other people's lives and inflation and struggle and happiness and sadness and sickness. Now I've been through a pandemic. I've been seeing these things. I'm tired. Okay. So when you look at it, do that make sense?
Yes.
So I need more.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing floods. I've just seen a flood about 4 years ago when we first moved here. I saw Ellicott City, Maryland, the downtown historical park, water up into the second roof of houses. Mm-hmm. I was looking at it on my 4K definition, big screen TV, because I love TV, guys. And it's big. It's like you in a movie theater, in my opinion. Would you agree?
Yes, definitely.
And I was looking at it, and honestly, I felt like I was there thinking, oh my God, when I saw the people on the balconies looking, I would have freaked out. When I saw my mother's neighborhood, a river of water. So I've seen it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But the end has not come. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, speaking of which, prayers to everybody that got struggled or hit with Hurricane Helen.
Yeah, she's been a beast.
Yes.
That Helen, we still getting all the rain from her. Mm-hmm. So anyway, with that being said, that just proves that I like it when the Bible proves things. So back to who we were talking about.
Kamala
This
Harris.
is why that's important. Because why would you lie?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
Exactly.
The way this makes me feel is you're running on. Now, take out all the information we just talked about. Just bear that in mind. And you're rating on principles of God. And you're saying to us, you're going to be the first Black woman president.
Yep.
And may not be. Mm-hmm. There's something wrong with that story. We can't buy that story. What do you think?
Yes, most
definitely. If you're running on that, unless you can prove you're black, we all should have a problem with a liar. And I want to know, how is the View going to deal with this now? Or are they going to something? They're just always trying to find fault. Your side would have done the same thing.
Mm-hmm, yes.
All I want to know is how the View is going to handle this now. That you were so willing to tear down Janet and go to her defense. And this ain't about no Democrat and Republican. This is about how the View behave. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do now? Candace Owens. And we know we can trust her. And you can sit over there and say, well, she's a Republican and she ain't this. It ain't about that. Mm-hmm. The fact the woman lied.
Yes.
And if it isn't a lie, prove otherwise.
Mm-hmm. And if that's a lie, her whole campaign is a lie.
And you look at that bloodline, like I was saying, the bloodline, when I went through the utero and all, it's important because she's representing a black woman. Are you 100% black, or are you 40, or are you 2080? Mm-hmm. What are you? Because if you're going to claim the name as a black president, then you're going to have to do what Barack did. You have to show that I'm 100% African. Mm-hmm. Well, he's white too.
Right, yeah.
But you prove he got that African blood is undeniable.
And at least with him, his skin tone proved it. She's in that ambiguous.
She can be ambiguous. She can go either or. She's one of them passers.
Yes.
So it could just be the Indian in her. Mm-hmm. So, and you know, Indians come light. Her mother was dark Indian, allegedly. We don't know about that either. Her mother was dark Indian, but she could have had light Indian family members. Mm-hmm. So it's nothing in a black family or a family of color that you can come out dark and light. Look at Chloe.
Yep. Uh-huh.
What was her, Chloe?
Yep, Khloe Kardashian.
One of her children came out just like her father.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And the other one came out pale. So it can happen. Mm-hmm. So she could have came out pale and her mother could be dark. But the paleness could have been if she had a father that they are allegedly coming from, what is it, the redneck? Come on.
The redneck?
Yes. In Irish, the Irish side. They always said they was a redneck. They work in the sun. That's why they were called rednecks, from working in the sun.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah. Or is she Irish? Is her father Irish descent?
That's the rumor on the street.
Is her father Jamaican descent?
That's also
because if her father was Jamaican descent and her mother dark, why did she come out so pale? When both of I don't know. I got issues, and not that should be something, but you should have something.
Yeah.
By them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think anybody really would care if she wasn't out there campaigning as, I'm going to be the first black woman president.
Y'all know it. Mm-hmm. Y'all, come on. Now, you know she wasn't talking like that. Y'all, come on, y'all. Uh-huh. Come on. Let's do, what's that song?
Body, yada, yada.
Come on, let's do the body, yada, 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 yada. Uh-huh. You see her, you see it. And she lives in Caucasian world. I have no problem with that at all. But when you're saying one thing and you're doing another, mm-hmm. Come on, people, you should have an issue with that. Yeah. You can't be blind to the point that this has nothing to do with the party, far as you're concerned. I can't speak for Candace. Mm-hmm. Candace gave me some truth.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about that. This has nothing to do. The only thing that it has to do with, is she lying? Because why are you going to say you are the first if you're not?
Exactly.
Why are you claiming black? It lets me know you're just trying to get black votes. I don't know. If that's what it is, it's creepy and it's not right. And if it was Trump, y'all would have ate him up and spit him out, and it would have been nothing left but bones. I'm not saying this is going to hurt her. I just don't see how it's going to help her.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to help her. But I'm sure there are diehards out there that are just not going to care and still vote for her and say.
And I wish them the best. And this is not me choosing the side. You all know how I figure. Mm-hmm. I'm going liberal. I'm in the middle.
Just look at both sides.
They both got things I like, and they both have things I don't like. Mm-hmm. I want to date. I would vote somebody in the middle, but for what? We got to get through this first. Right. We got to get to the point where people can accept, well, I'm not a Republican. Mm-hmm. Or you got to accept, I am a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. Black folks, we got to accept the fact that not every black person is going to be a Democrat. And it should be okay for a Republican and a Democrat of the same race get along. Yes. And right now, it's just not safe saying, I'm for Trump.
Nope.
It's just not safe mentally.
Or do you even say that you're for Kamala?
It's not even safe. You're right. It's not even safe saying, I'm for Kamala. It depends on your circles.
Yes, it does.
So you're not safe. So to me, I'm in the middle because that's truly where I am. They both have good parts.
Only we could just come and
if I need a middle person in the middle that can give me best of both worlds. Yes. We don't have that. No. All we have is yin and yang. That's it.
Yes, it's black and white, but put it together, you get
man gray. And woman. That's what we got right now.
Yeah, that's true.
So with that being said, look, we're going to come back with a part 2. So we're going to continue this, but we're going to come back with a part 2. We felt like we held you long enough. We've been all over. We've been around the world and and I was enjoying it. But baby Crone set the
mood,
the pentacle of this. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, because
I enjoyed it.
Thank you. Ironically, when I had brought to you last week about how there's supposed to be just bring it back full circle since we're closing it out, that there's supposed to be a second moon that's supposed to be orbiting Earth. We're just gonna call it an asteroid because that's really what it is.
Okay.
An asteroid is going to be orbiting Earth for a short period of time. You're just like, oh, baby Crone, you should let them know the day before.
Oh, okay.
And magically, we just happened to do this the day before.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, I'm glad, and I always like for you to stay true to astrology because I do know that's your baby. So with that being said, we'll see you right back. We're just going to take an intermission and give you a break. Please come back and join us as we get through the news, the daily news.
Yes.
And that is Chit Chat
with us.
With us, the Crones. Mm-hmm. We'll see you soon. We'll be right back. With that being said,
sunflowers.
Sunflowers. All right.
Hey guys, we're back as Mama Crone eats her tangelos.
I love them.
Yes. So far we have talked about Lizzo and her weight backlash, as well as James Corden chiming in as well about his weight and his opinion about it, about what he's going through. And then we've talked about Kamala Harris, as well as we have talked.
James Gordon said that he didn't felt Ozempic worked for him.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He said he learned something from it, though.
Yes, he did.
That his eating habit was all about him, not about food. Mm-hmm. I knew that. I knew that at 16. Mm-hmm.
And then we've also talked about, like I said, Kamala Harris, about how her race is even more ambiguous at this point. It's just a whole rabbit hole at this point. We've, on lighter news, we had talked about T.S. Madison getting engaged. Yes, that was great news. And now
we're all for love over here.
Yes,
all
we really
for
are.
Love.
Always.
All for love. If you're getting married and you want an announcement, you can say, hey, we're getting married, and we will announce it. We will say, hey, such and such is getting married on such and such a day. Mm-hmm. We'll do that for you.
Yes, we will.
We're all about love. Yes,
mm-hmm.
we are.
Peace and love, baby.
Mm-hmm. As long as it's real.
Yes.
And you ain't getting us in no trouble.
Mm-hmm. Right, no fake foolery, all in positivity.
Mm-hmm.
However, now we have to...
Well, you know...
What?
They can have their friends sit down. And you could sit down. And they could tell us. And we could have it. They had the video. And they put us on. And they would say, did you know Susie Susie, did you know that Peter wanted to marry you? And she wouldn't know?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be fun.
That's my imagination running away with me. But wouldn't that be nice? You knew somebody that could do that, and you have them sitting there and say, oh, this accidentally, oh, let's look at the Crones. And you have the video, and so you could just turn it on, and you'll hear at the beginning or whenever you need it said, and it would be like, the title would say, Peter Proposal. So you would put it on, and Peter would say, Rosette, come on, sit down, look at me. And he's over there in the kitchen or whatever. I don't know, making up stuff.
That would be
and
so
all of
beautiful.
a sudden you hear Rosette. And that's Peter's voice, but Peter's not saying it. Right?
Yeah.
So you come and sit down. This sounds so good to me in my mind.
It would be amazing.
It would be amazing. And that's him. He on a knee or whatever, and he proposed to you.
Yes.
And we did that because we're all about love, right?
Actually,
I would like that. Would you?
I would like.
Or say Peter say he have to ask you a question. Are you ready for it? Yeah. Have you been good, or if it's something bad? Because Peter's a little upset with you about something. Did you talk to him about it? Or did you know that such and such want to tell you something? Oh, have you been noticing a lot of pink around the house lately? Like a pregnancy? Doesn't that sound fun?
Yes.
Okay, that's my imagination. I'm done. Go ahead.
That you are the creative friend that I would love to have around, most definitely. Because you would always make an event very special.
Well, let me say this because I like to be transparent with my audience. I told it a little bit for a little break. And you all know when I take a little toll on my little vape, just a little, can't do too much, I feel so inspired. And that's why you got all this.
It's been an inspiring
It's the weekend. It's the weekend. I go, it's the weekend.
Baby, I'm about to have me some fun.
It's the week. Oh, that's R. Kelly. See, you can't. I can't win. I can't win. I'm leaving it alone. Shoot, I'm leaving it alone. Earlier, I said about T.S. Madison. I can't. I'm done. You all know where my heart is. That's just when I have a little tote on the weekends or whenever I feel a need to. It just makes me feel inspired. So you're getting some raw inspiration. But go ahead, baby. Yes. You got it earlier too, but you're really getting it now. But go ahead.
So that was actually a really good transition because who we have to talk about is Diddy.
We are not talking about anybody right now. Okay. Well, excuse me. I don't like the skin. And because I'm on camera, I used to spit out the skin because I have a texture problem. But this time, since I'm eating the orange, I'm eating the skin because I'm on camera. I didn't know. I forgot about the texture problem. Now I'm like, I'm not eating no more orange because I don't want to swallow no more skin. Okay. You understand?
I unironically had just saw a video similar to that on TikTok.
So what I was saying is really, what was it?
It was this guy. Oh, I think you sent me the video. I think he was like eating an egg and it was this really weird. And then he came to the realization that this person that was filming him was going to keep filming him, play along in the skit. And every bite he took of like the actual egg, it was a raw egg in a shell. You could just see the look in his face.
I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, I gotta show you it. Every look he took, he was just like, you could see a part of him was dying every time he was eating the raw egg.
Did he know he was eating raw egg?
Yes, he did know he was.
And why would he eat a raw egg?
It was a part of the skit. I think he was maybe hoping like the woman, because he came up to her and was just like, hey, I need you to film something for me. And then he pulled out the eggs and started eating. And so she was being faithful and holding the camera and recording him. Didn't ask no questions. And it went on for about like 30 seconds to a minute. And then he just was like, all right, thank you. Then took the phone. I think he was hoping somebody would be like, why are you eating eggs? Like, what are you doing? And be like, oh, here's your phone. But nope, the woman just let him eat raw eggs. And he was like, I'm not playing
How many raw eggs did he eat?
At least 3. Mm-hmm.
Did he shell and all?
Shell and all.
Did he look like he was going to vomit?
Yeah, kind of. He did look like he was having disgust, and it was painful a little bit.
I don't want to see that. Okay, I'll see it because you told me, but I don't know if
that's how I related the fact that you didn't want to pull out the skin.
I would never been that vulgar. I would have did something like this. Or I would have did, like, I'm always conscious, but I'm a type of person. I'm not a eater. I'm really not a eater at all. It's easy for me not to eat than to eat. And this is what I do. And I'm saying it's easy. That doesn't mean I don't get hungry, okay? Mm-hmm. But if like some people, like, it would be more easier for you to eat than not eat.
Right. Yeah.
Would you agree?
I would agree.
It's more easy for me not to eat. That's just our makeup, right? But there are certain times of the month where that would be a complete opposite.
Yeah.
That I'd be worried she ain't eating, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. There are certain times of the month that you worry, I'm eating.
Yes.
Right? Uh-huh. So it plays itself. But what was I saying?
Well, we was getting ready to transition. Well, I was transitioning into Diddy from singing about R. Kelly.
But before we do anything about that, my main point that I really wanted you to do that thing from Gaia that you said you was going to do earlier.
Oh, yes.
I don't know how you got all the way down here. I was hoping that you would play Gaia.
Yes, that was honestly so true. I had forgotten about that. So some things that I had saw on Gaia, just to harper back to the part 1 that we guys had did, and we are still getting the remnants of, because we are just still in the energy. And also Gaia was sparking my energy too. So some things that I read on Gaia that I enjoyed. This really brings in the sentiment that we talked about today. And it says, our conscious thoughts are often guided by the beliefs stored in our subconscious. Mm-hmm. For example, if you subconsciously believe you're not good at public speaking, your conscious thoughts may reflect anxiety or self-doubt in those situations. Mm-hmm. I liked that. I also liked, as you think, you feel. As you feel, you radiate. As you radiate, you create. Now, I like this one. Now, this one you have to, it's a 2-parter. So they want you to read it one way, which is laziness kills ambition, anger kills wisdom, ego kills growth, and jealousy kills peace. Now, to read that in reverse, peace kills jealousy, growth kills ego, dreams kills fears, wisdom kills anger, and ambition kills laziness. I enjoyed some of those quotes from Gaia, and we watch Gaia. Well, I'm inspired by Gaia. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they are posting this on their Instagram.
When I think no one gets me, I go to Gaia.
Mm-hmm.
Or Prime.
Yeah.
Prime is with Gaia.
Mm-hmm.
Prime. Gaia. They get me. Mm-hmm. If you ever feel like
that's true,
who gets me, go to Gaia.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Mm-hmm. Yep. So with that was some things that maybe just to share one more, and then I'm finished. This also goes back to a theme that we were talking about today. It says, we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Okay, listen, I know they can sound a little bit corny.
No, I'm being mean. I'm being mean-spirited. The reason why I'm saying is because for me, this is boring. Now, for you, it may not be boring. And if it wasn't boring, I apologize. Please forgive me. Don't blame it on me.
Listen, this
blame
is
it on that totem. It's not me.
It's things we already talk and believe about, but every time I see it, I really like, yes.
Baby Crone is having a moment. Go ahead and have your spiritual moment, baby. Go ahead, baby. Don't let me stop you. I apologize.
No, that's just how I feel whenever Gaia pops
feel
up.
It.
Yes.
Feel it. Go on and feel that.
Gaia makes me feel, as well as you.
Of course.
Because Gaia just confirms everything you talk about, and also that just shows you how everything is interconnected, really, especially spiritually, esoterically, tarot, astrology.
It's all a part of alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
If you know one, you have astrology.
Yes.
If you get into astrology, then you know numerology.
Mm-hmm.
You get into astrology and you get into numerology, tarot cards.
Yeah.
It's just no way around it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know numerology and you know astrology, you'll be able to read tarot cards.
Yes. And once you
vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you know numerology, it's easy to learn tarot. Mm-hmm. If you understood astrology, you will understand tarot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They all intertwine.
Yes.
So if you say, I don't believe in tarot, but I believe in astrology, they all the same, baby. Mm-hmm. All the same, ever growing, ever knowing, ever knowing. Do you know you do the same thing, fortune telling or reading people future? Because I don't really like fortune telling because I don't like telling people future. If they want to know an outcome that I foresee that could happen, I'll tell you. But the main thing of the cards and the zodiac is to prepare you for the next steps you have to take in life.
Yes.
They are there to help you with what's going on in your life now. They're not there to tell you about a future. Mm-hmm. That's not what they're made for. They're there to help you get well. They're there to zero in on a problem and help you find your way home without going through a therapist or a psychiatrist where you have to pay so much money and so many meetings. They go right in. If they're really intuitive, they go right in and zero on the problem. Mm-hmm. Now, if you continue to go with them, you'll find you being healed. What I find, what people that come to me, when I tell them the truth, I'm not an easy bird to digest. I tell you what I see. Now, a lot of times, people want to hear only good things. That's what I've learned. They don't want you to hear the bad. Then you don't want to come to me. I'm not going to do that. Go to her.
That's true.
Don't come to me. If you want somebody to say, I'll take it easy on you and I'll make it easy, look, I feel like I'm in a hurry. I feel like I got to do what I got to do and get where I got to go, and I may never see you again. You done paid me my money. I want to give you what you paid for. And if I see a future, I'm going to tell you. And the one thing I don't take pride in, and that is telling people something and I'm wrong.
That's true.
So I've decided, don't ask me about when you're going to die because I ain't dealing with it. Because I don't like to tell the truth about that. My mind don't want to deal with that. Anything outside of that, I'm willing to go in. But I'm not, don't be asking me a question about where's the secret money hidden that my uncle died 10 years ago. No. Mm-mm. And I'm not saying there are not readers out there that can't do that. There are. Many, probably. I don't know. I've never met them. But they out there. They could be. I don't know. But I know it could be. I know that's just not the reader I am. Mm-hmm. I'm the kind of reader, if you're hurting and you really want help and you want to make a change, you really serious. You ain't coming because you really at your wit ends and you just want somebody to be real with you and you just really need a direction. I'm her. If you willing to do the work and you really to be real with me, like being real, where you willing to do the work and you willing to put it out there. Not if I call out something, you streak back and you get all offended. Yeah. And no. Or I didn't know it was going to be deep like that. Don't come to me. This is real for me. Mm-hmm. Because I'm seeing and feeling, and I'm feeling your energy. The only thing I can say to people, you're so blessed that we're not in person.
That's true.
Because I'm good in person, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Or this is sometimes difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But I can still tap in by the tone and the sound of your voice. But anyway, enough of that. I don't know how I got over it. The energy is high.
Oh, yeah. I was reading some Gaia
That's
quotes.
it again. Oh, my goodness. Okay. That's it. So I'm fitting.
Yes, you are fitting.
Okay.
But that just shows you how because literally that's what baby Crone has been inspired by or looking at all throughout this week. So that's what baby Crone brought to the table.
It inspired me.
Yes.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, keep talking.
Okay. The last thing we have to talk about now is Diddy and the files. Well, we call them the Diddy files.
I want to talk about the Kardashians too,
and the Kardashians as well. So before the Kardashians, we're going to talk about Diddy just briefly. Mostly about how there isn't nothing new or developing, but we do notice how it is kind of ironic that there is a bunch of, well, I won't say a bunch, but there are men out there opinion about Diddy and his freakiness and the freak offs, and they are not able to comprehend it.
Can I come in?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Okay.
I was a little hungry.
Yes, we are hungry over here.
That really cut my appetite. I don't feel sorry for you with your little 2 crackers. Excuse me.
Yes, Diddy.
I was looking at news reporters, commentators. I was just looking at all these men. They were talking about Diddy.
Yes.
They were just saying how disgusting, how repulsed, how, white men, black men, just so many men weighing in on it. All kind of men. And my soul said 80% of the men are in something perverted. I was like, what? What?
Isn't that how it goes?
What? Like the average person, they in some freaky stuff. That's why they constantly talking about it.
You're right.
They get off on it as if hiding their own selves. I don't know which one they are. That wasn't revealed. But what was revealed? And then I don't know. Then me said to me, look at their face. And I just saw a face on one of them that they would just look like one of them little boys that like to be spanked.
Yes, it was on the
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay, no. Fair enough.
And it looked like a little boy who, like, their lover to spank them. And like, mommy, was I good? Like, I saw that. I don't want to get into it. Yeah, no. It's kind of perverted. And then I started seeing some of them that they were talking, but they like messing with girls. And then I even seen some of them that's into pornography and be looking at dirty videotapes. I was seeing so many perversions of these men that they mean to their women. Some of them are cheaters and liars.
Yeah.
You would never know looking at them. Some of them are gay and bisexual. Right there, I started seeing different things. Am I lying?
No.
And I said, "Oh, baby Crone, what did I say?"
Yes, that all these, basically the sentiment was that all these men are judging Diddy for his freakiness, yet they could be just equally as freaky.
And I said, self to self, excuse me, high self. I said, how can I trust this? And you know what myself said to me?
What?
Look at Diddy. Look at him. 30 years.
Yeah.
30 years with the best of the best. We all knew he was into something.
Mm-hmm.
We all knew. Come on. We knew when he was on that show, he wasn't treating them people right when they were making the band, whatever that show. We knew. I was so angry. That's when I started first not liking Diddy. But then they go tell a story. I saw that episode when they sent them to walk to Brooklyn to go get, what was it? Cheesecake for they thought it was for him. And they walked. They said it took 3 hours. They walked, I believe, allegedly, but I think it was 3 hours.
Okay.
They walked, and when they came back, they were the first, he said, because they weren't walking back. He said he didn't tell us to walk back. Diddy was so impressed and so shocked that they went walking, like he forgot.
Yep.
That he told him to go walk.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy said who did this years ago, said, I don't want that. Take it up to Beyonce. They said that when they said take it up to Beyonce, they were so elated that, wow, we went and walked. I get it. We went and we walking and that was their consolation. And he treated it like it was nothing. Yeah. Take that up to Beyonce. Mm-hmm. And they were so, as we would be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And when the other people, they walked back. But he said, wait a minute, I wasn't walking back. He said, I started thinking like a street dude. Like I start, but they didn't even, sense. Right, they didn't even have to walk. But that lets you know how hungry.
Yes.
I have a Bible story. Here's another one.
Okay.
It's like separating the wheat from the tare, or separating the strong from the weak, or the men and the women. Which is fit? Whichever way, I'll put this in common terms. I think there was a king or a leader or somebody, a prophet, I don't know. They sent the men of Israel down to the water to get some drink. Mm. And they said, and those that sit there, I think, and put down and drink like a dog, no. But those that, I guess, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I know I'm right about the story. But which one he took? I would think the one that put their face in like a dog does, right? Mm-hmm. And start lapping up the water like a dog.
Or any animal.
Leave them alone, because no, they'll do no. But the ones that would suit or...
Yeah, it has some demure.
They had some demure. How would you drink? Would you? A lot of people would.
A lot of people would.
Or would some people be like...
Mm-hmm, I would scoop it up.
I would be with both hands.
Because that would be easier, and you could get more water and be...
Providing I know to scoop it up.
Sure, you got to know to scoop it up.
But if I went and everybody was down the water drinking water, would I go down and drink it? Yep.
Yeah.
Follow the leader and be perished.
Yep, be sheep.
Oh, excuse me, baby. That was. Oh, sorry. You could delete that. That was that fruit. You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. So anyway, all of this leads me to that energy that came from that moon a week or so ago. It's really powerful. I'm still feeling the effect of it. So whatever this is something that took root in me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, also following a lunar eclipse, they always come in pair. There's supposed to be a partial solar eclipse that's supposed to be happening as well. Now on October 2nd, which is just next week.
I'm telling you guys, if you could really get energized to the universe, if you really could just start learning, if you really start seeing, we don't know. You don't know, so you're not paying attention. You're not. Just when a moon is full, check out how you feel. Just keep a journal, especially if it's a rainy night. Ooh. Or how you feel in Halloween. Mm-hmm. If it's a full moon, what is that moon on? Because the moon is like a clock. All those phases mean something. Mm-hmm. So find out what phase it is on Halloween. What will the moon be on Halloween 2024?
Okay. Just briefly, okay, hold up. Okay.
We can make talk. I'm going dark, so I might as well go dark right here.
Moon phase.
Moon phase, moon phase. Do you know the moon? But you haven't found it yet. I could have got up, went in my bedroom, got my calendar, came back out and did this.
Okay.
No.
Hold up. I'm about to have it in just a few more clicks. It didn't give it to me out plain.
1, Baltimore, Maryland. 2, Baltimore, Maryland. 3.
Moon phase. Okay.
3, Baltimore, Maryland. 2.5, Baltimore, Maryland.
It will be a waning crescent, meaning that it will be just getting ready to go dark.
Wow. Yes. I hope it could. So it would be like just a crescent. No, going dark would be.
Means it's closer to the sun.
Oh, right. But the crescent, I'm looking at the crescent, meaning a sliver of it. Just that wicked moon where the witch riding on. Yeah, right. Isn't that what the bewitchy flies in on that crescent shape? Mm-hmm. How fitting.
It would be fitting.
How fitting that the moon would be on that just before it goes dark. Mm-hmm. Just before what? Just before the winter solstice.
That's true.
Because what do you mean? That means when Halloween comes, that means it's letting us know fall is ending. It's coming to an end. It's coming to an end. The end of it will be November the what? Or is it December?
Fall.
I'm a fall baby. So.
End of fall?
No, it's not. I'm sorry. That lets you know that it's the end of fall where things are going to die, things going to sleep. So you're entering into a sleep phase, a state of zombieism. Mm-hmm. So you're going, everything is falling back. You're falling, even if you don't feel it. You'll see your sun energy if you live in this part of the eastern part. Are we on the eastern and the
Oh, we are on
the East Coast.
Yes, we are on the East Coast.
Right, we're on the eastern part of things. So if you over here, you'll know that you're going to feel it. I don't care if you're in Florida, wherever. It's a spirit because time goes back for all of us in the United States. I don't know about some of them, but I do know here. So anyway, you feel this. If you're in tune to these things, it's so much you could learn about life. But many of us just don't take the time to be in tune. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just before we moved on, I just wanted to briefly talk about how it's very fitting that when we have this new moon, mm-hmm. which is going to be a partial solar eclipse because the moon will be closer towards the sun.
And what date is that on?
October 2nd. And tomorrow, just on September 29th, we have what they are going back to that second moon or asteroid that's going to be orbiting the Earth temporarily. Just shortly when it enters Earth's orbit, our moon personally goes dark. So it's almost like an energy casting over like the moon.
What kind of energy is this? Do you know?
It's definitely a transformative end of the
because I feel like I'm being enlightened.
Yeah, it's about like moving on. You're getting ready to change cycles, preparing.
I feel it. And not all of you will feel it because, like I said, the way the energy works, it's like it may be my time now, but maybe the next time it happened, it'll be your turn. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a big world in the scheme of things.
Yes.
You know, when I say big, meaning it's big enough where we're going different time zones. Mm-hmm. It's big enough where some of us can see things and some of us can't.
Yeah.
Some of us can see the aurora lights and some of us can't. Mm-hmm. Some of us can go out our yard right now and see all the stars in the sky. Yes. And some of us are shrouded by trees and all we can see is the moon. Mm-hmm. And all of its glory. No matter what. Winter, spring, summer, and fall, we always have what?
The moon.
Sometimes that moon is so close, don't it feel like we could just grab it?
It does.
We see the different colors of the moon. We get the moon. We also get the rising and the setting of the sun. And we get the moon. I'm up on a peak, so I get to see that. I even get to see the stars, but not like everybody else.
Yeah.
If it's a starry night,
yeah.
If it's a clear night, really. But what I get to see whether I want to or not, would be the rising and the setting of the sun, and I get to see all phases of the moon.
Yes.
Even when it's dark. So that's blessed.
Yeah, we get the luminaries.
We do. And some people, we get the luminaries. Some people don't even get that.
Yeah.
You know, can you imagine? I mean, there are places in the city where they can even get the thing. I just think it's where you are. What do you think?
Most definitely where you are, light pollution, all that.
Plays a part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yep, just like everything plays a part in what's going on with Diddy in his case, and I'm not sure if we're going to find out. Well, of course we're going to find out more. It's an ever-evolving case.
But Beyonce, whether she knew or she didn't know, I'm sure she knew that this is happening. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he told her. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he said, "Oh, I sent the boys to go there and get." He probably said, "Come, go and walk there too." And she probably said, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that." I don't know. I don't really want to get into Beyonce because at the end of the day, she's just another sad love. She's just another sad love song.
Yes, she really is.
Just another sad love song.
Yeah.
I have a question. Why is it that beauty suffers with love? Why is it when you're the most beautiful woman in the world, the most beautiful man in the world, why, or the beautifulest child, and when I say in the world, meaning your group, your era, the people you go to school with, the pretty girl in school, when you pretty, when you the best dressed and you pretty, or you got the prettiest hair. Why is it beauty suffers? Why is it that people become jealous of somebody else's beauty? Why do beauty suffer? Why?
That's a good question. I wish I had an answer to that one.
Do you know? If so,
please.
Why does beauty suffer? It just seems like with anything beautiful. Anything. It's like we look at the sky and it's like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's suffering.
It's true.
You look at the luminaries, you go, oh my God, it's so gorgeous, but it's suffering. The ozone. You look at the trees and you go, oh my God, they're so beautiful, but because of the ozone and because of all of that, they got a pesticides, and you go. And we as people are beautiful. Who taught us to be so mean and heartless?
Those that want to divide us.
And who are they? The government. I think the people represent the government.
Yes.
If you want to know how a government is ran, check out their people. You like that? I'm feeling inspired. Remember, I told you this is all inspiration. I really believe that. It's just like, if you really want to know the state of a child, watch their parents or parent.
Okay.
See how they raise. You'll see.
That's true. You definitely will.
We are the product of our government.
Yeah.
All of us. Shaped in one way or another.
Yes.
All the way down to the point of the government wants it free for everyone to vote, even foreigners.
Yes.
You don't have to be a citizen of the United States, if I got that right. It's the government.
Yeah.
And it's overall, just like we don't have to say who gets to be the president, but we do get to say who's popular and who's not. And we hope that they're telling the truth, because that war is between them. It's not between us.
Yeah.
And I wonder, is it played like Squid Games?
I honestly think so, because I was just saying it's just a game to them.
It's a game. It's a game. Nothing never changed. It's not a game to us because we are the pawns.
We're the ones that are affected by their game.
Yeah, but they are the ones that's behind the glass mirror. Like when you go to a detective and they talking and screening, they protect it. You can't see. You just think it's just a clear old wall, but they watching everything you doing. That's how I feel. Mm-hmm. But then I'm a conspiratist. So when I think of Diddy, there's really nothing. It's just people crawling out the walls. They're going to crawl. I wonder how many of those stories are real.
That's honestly true.
How many? How many of, let's be real.
Yeah.
How many of the, don't let us look at all he done did 30 years. Let's not look at all that. Mm-hmm. It took him 30 years to get where he's at.
Yes.
It took him 30 years to gain this power. Mm-hmm. So these are phases and stages of life that Diddy went through. So my point is, it took him 30 years, well, longer, because Diddy is 54 years old. I don't know what clicked in his mind to make him go this route, unless his mother raised him like that. Unless he came from a hustling family and it was hustling in his blood and his DNA. That's what Richard Pryor said. Richard Pryor was born that way. There are people that now tell you I was born a hustler.
That's true.
Born in it. Girls say my father was a hustler. I think the brat and their father. Okay. Some people that's what they used to. Mm-hmm. And Lisa Ray would say, I go get money and everything. I'm used to working. I'm used to having my own. I mean, we know that because the brat served time in prison.
Yes.
So you come on now, they a product. So it's like we don't belong there. Mm-mm. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they got that in their DNA. They born into that. So sometimes you're not. Sometimes you just went playing in somebody else's backyard and became a victim of circumstances.
Yes.
Or sometimes we go because it just looked beautiful and we just want to eat that exotic fruit. Am I saying that we should play in our own backyard? I think when you look at it, it's better overall, but it's not fair. Why? Because none of us, no one on this planet Earth can truly say, I chose my parents. And no, I could tell you the day and the time. I could tell you where I was in spirit. None of us can do that.
No.
None of us can say, I chose. None of us chose as we recollect to be here. Mm-hmm. Whether we like it or whether we don't like it or whether we iffy about it. We stand one of those three.
Right.
Okay? But we didn't choose our parents. We certainly didn't choose our siblings. Right? And you didn't choose your ancestors from this point of the wall.
Right.
From this point. This point, you knew. But if you can't go to this point, then that's obsolete. It's null and what? Void. You see nothing. You know nothing. You just have moments of inspiration that radiate through that vortex. And if you in tune, you get the energy. It's burst into the world. If you in tune, you'll feel it. Mm-hmm. Many people feel it through inspiration. Many people feel this through religion, though.
Yes.
They feel it strongly. That's why they go to church. You can tell some people no matter what, but because the energy that they feel is so real to them. It's real. Mm-hmm. That they won't let it go, even if you said it was an illusion, and that you can have the same feeling in your house. You can have the same feeling by yourself. Whatever church gives, you're doing it to yourself. You're just doing it with others. Mm-hmm. You're letting somebody control that when you have full control over. You can feel like that. I don't think you could feel like that. You can feel like that 24 hours a day, but I think you would burn out.
Yeah, eventually.
I think you would burn out. It would be too intense.
Yeah,
you'll want to come down, huh?
Yeah, most definitely. You just can't stay in a state forever.
You can't stay there.
Yes. So, talking about Diddy and everybody who is related to him.
The Kardashians.
Yes.
Now, I heard that they were going off of the air. I don't know. I heard they had 20 episodes.
I
also heard that Kim don't care. I also heard that Kylie quit. I also heard that Kendall was pregnant by Bad Bunny. I also heard that Scott's oldest son don't want to stay with Courtney. He stays with his father. That's why, he doesn't. I don't know if he don't get along with the family or whatever, but that's the news. Now, the Kardashians are struggling in their ratings. Now, I thought about this. One of the things that I loved about the Kardashians, they kept us up with fashion. They don't bother with that too much anymore. They don't have no stores named Dash. They don't show us what's in fashion. Instead, they show us Kendall or Kim wearing some clothes that we'll never wear in the real world. Okay.
Yeah,
many of us are not going to wear jeans and spike heels going around in the house. That's just not what we're going to do. Am I right about it? None of us are going to a big old fat mall, walking in the mall, or going to a supermarket. She doesn't live a normal life like regular people. That's beauty look. That's beauty walk. That's beauty shoes. That's a beauty style. Many of us are going to wear some comfortables because we're going to get groceries for real, right? Or we really going somewhere. We're going to go pick the kids. So we got to, now maybe I might Mr. Johnson in the hallway and he might be there and I find him sexy. I may put on some heels for him. And like I was saying, when I was thinking about the Braxtons, and I'm sorry.
The Kardashians.
The Kardashians, Braxtons, Kardashians.
And they're both definitely family-oriented shows.
Mm-hmm. But when I was thinking about the Kardashians, and I was thinking about it, I also equate Black China with them.
Yes,
because even though they've all had children by men, she's the only woman that had a child by a Kardashian. Mm-hmm. Men have, but she's the only woman.
That's true.
And because of that, no matter what, I always see her as a Kardashian.
Yeah.
Even though she is not, her daughter is. But because I find a mother and a daughter in a good relationship, then you can't separate them.
No.
Mm-mm. And with that being said, Angela or Black China, she celebrated, I think it was a year or two of sobriety with her daughter. Yeah. And her son, and it was good to see that they were singing happy birthday in a celebratory way to that. That was very nice. I wanted to share that. Mm-hmm. Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Was it 1 year or 2 years?
I think it was 2 years.
2 years of sobriety. And she said they had a nice, beautiful cake and a candle. Yeah. It was very, very nice. And I add that in with the Kardashians. So, what do I think about the Kardashian? I think that if the Kardashian wanted to save their show, they'll just bring in the Diddy files.
Exactly.
If I wanted to save my soul so bad,
expose yourself.
I would expose what I can. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't act like it didn't exist.
Exactly.
I would come in for when Kim made the phone call. Mm-hmm. And I would let people know this episode, how the Kardashians dealt with how these episodes are going to deal with what's going on after the Diddy, what we've been dealing with. Mm-hmm. Who wouldn't tune in?
Exactly. That'll be
and they can monitor what they said.
Of course.
But they can give us enough where they can be cleaning their name.
Fair enough. Okay.
Even in all that filth, they could still, like go into a little bit about the church and how the church run.
Yeah.
They can make that. They can go into things about when have a sit down and what was it like, or have a detective sit down and talk to Chloe about what it was like when she went to the parties and she found that when she said that a lot of them were nude. She said naked, but nude.
Mm-hmm, she did.
Go into details about what she saw. Mm-hmm. How did she get hooked up with that guy? What's his name? French Montana. Has she ever stayed after the lights were out? And if so, without giving too much, was it scary or was it fun? Mm-hmm. You don't have to say you seen anything. You could say, I didn't see none of that. I mean, is it me?
No, because the big question mark I got is looking at Kim and seeing how, I mean, all of the Kardashians have been associated with Diddy one way or another. And that could have really just honestly been due to Kris Jenner, because you know how Kris Jenner
and also her boyfriend Corey was close with them. So it's so much they could say. And maybe that's why, if you're not going to talk about that, because that would send your ratings to the roof. If you just be transparent like you used to. You ain't got to be 100, but you could be 50.
Okay.
50-50. Enough to piss us off, but enough to get us to come back for more.
That's true.
Enough to whet our appetite, but enough to say, you know what, I knew they were going to do some stuff like that, but you're going to give us you give us a nugget or so.
Yeah.
A nugget or a half. They could do that, right?
Yeah,
or even go into Kim feeling nervous or how they feeling. Anything they could do.
Yes.
But they won't. And this is their moneymaker. And speaking of that, I talked about this before, but as I listened to other commentators, I mean, this is kind of old, but it all happened this month. It could have been a week or two ago, where Kylie Jenner got the front page or story for Vogue. And from what I understand for a couple of bloggers, I don't know how true it is, but it makes sense to me that Kim was jealous, that she wanted it. And you know what that made me think about? You remember what you did to Courtney?
Yeah.
Remember what you did to Courtney? How it's been 2 years? And you gone full circle. And that ain't even like that. But just imagine how Courtney was feeling when they skipped over her wedding and you used her idea.
Yes.
You understand? You used her idea. Think about it. Kylie's not using your idea. But just think, not only did you get it, you took and stole her idea. It's amazing how the chicken come home to roost.
Yes.
And how she could have felt jealous or insecure or feeling. You're older, aging out.
Yeah.
She knows it. She says that she's going to do something by the time she's 50. Well, you're 6 years away from that. Good luck. Anything else?
I did know.
And let me say this, hold that thought. And also, I can't go without the mothership.
Oh, okay.
The captain. They say the mother is really having a hard time trying to cope with the show going off air.
Oh, okay.
That it's just not pulling what it is, and she's struggling. And I understand, because that show keeps her relevant. And without that show, she's going to go in obscurity. And we'll always know who she is. But there'll be a bunch of people that's out of the limelight, and I think we're all going to breathe a sigh of relief, because that model is played out. If you're going to have another family, they can't be it. Such a poor model. I hope the next time that we make somebody the family of the United States, we need to vet them more clearly, especially when they're coming in with people like Ray J. And I adore Ray J. But his name ain't never been a name that you say in the presence of goodness. Ray J always been a hellion, and he's always said so. He's always been about the life and the outside. He's always been about that, and I respect him for it. He ain't never lied. You know, he just should have never got married, and unfortunately, he shouldn't have had children. But if he didn't have children, he wouldn't have none. So in that case, I'm glad he had children. And sometimes we just have to have children because we want our seed in the earth. And we want it while we're young. And even though we may not be ready over here, we're ready over here. Maybe biologically I'm ready, and financially I'm ready, but I may not be ready for a commitment. I may be ready to love on my kids, but I may not be ready to be committed to the parent, the mother or the father.
Yeah. Struggles of parenthood.
The struggle of parenthood. So with that being said, I can see why Kris could be struggling, and all that. But I don't know what it's going to be like when they are gone.
Yeah.
We'll hear from them every time again, we'll hear, but it's time for the lights to go out. They could save themselves if they wanted to. But after the Diddy, and unless they're going to put their lives out there, and I don't blame them, I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I needed the money, I would. But if I don't need the money, I wouldn't want you poking you. I mean, this country. Remember, this country is like its government. This country will eat you up, spit you out, and throw you out. Just like you got two parties, you have a third party, and that's the party that want peace and the come togetherness for both parties. We need a third party. That's where Baby Crone and I stand. Yes. Am I right, Baby Crone?
Yes, most definitely.
The third party. Yes. This is the party. We're the united of the color, the united of the race, the united of what? Woman and male. Yes. What? Give me an opposite. Salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Give them one.
Okay.
The lion and the cat. Okay. The domestic cat.
Anyway. Okay. Okay. We have the cloudy and the sunny.
Yeah. The snow and the rain.
Yes. The sun and the moon.
Okay. Yes. Now you got to roll. Throw one of them over there. The nappy and the straight.
Yes.
There you go. So the crooked and the crooked and the narrow.
Okay.
You got one?
The light and the dark.
Oh my God. I was just getting ready to say the blind and the light.
Okay.
Oh my God, and you said it. On that, wow,
yes.
Synergy.
Yeah, most definitely.
But we do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we complete each other's sentences.
Yes, we do.
So we are around each other. We love each other very, very much. And sometimes when I have to play mom, and sometimes you have to think she plays mom, right? But she's an easy mom. I actually feel sorry for her too. I think her children are going to lack discipline. I really do. I think she's going to let her children run amok. I think she's going to be a Kim Kardashian. What you want from the school? If I buy this, you going to stop. You going to stop and talk to the baby and the little girl. You going to stop crying if I go and get this?
I would.
I think so.
I do pets.
Please have a husband that really want it and that's hands-on. And maybe she'll grow to it because once you have a baby, you do become maternal. Your body
changes.
Your body and mind. You done carried it for 9 months, so you're attached to it. Now, I guess you could carry a baby and don't want it when it's born. That meant you didn't want it when you got it. So that's different. Yeah. Enough of the sad blues. Okay, we hope you enjoyed this episode. We got into everything. It took us a little over 2 hours. See, she's still not finished. And you was telling me.
Sorry.
What was you doing?
Yeah, I was like, rev it up.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yes, apparently Kendall's supposed boyfriend, we're not sure at this point, Bad Bunny.
Is in a movie.
Yes.
See, I read.
See, completed our sentence. Yes, I'm not sure if this is his first time acting, but I think
it's his first time. I think. He's playing. Okay, no, sure.
Yes, well, I do know for a fact, though, that this is his first on-camera kissing scene, and it just so happened to be a homosexual relationship.
And they said that he even kissed people on his live show, a male. I told you that Bad Bunny was androgynous. Mm-hmm. And he goes both ways. But right now, he's into female, which is he into Kendall. Mm-hmm. Now, when he breaks up, because they bi. Now, let me explain what I heard that this is like. I don't know, so take what I say and ponder. I'm going to try to do it justice.
Okay.
They say what it's like to be bisexual is you go both ways. You like both equally. I can fall in love with a woman. I can fall in love with a man. Uh-huh. If I'm having strong feelings for you, I'm with you. Just like any other person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, we heterosexuals. But if I fall in love with Jimmy over here or Todd, If I fell in love with a Todd, I don't want to use no J's. If I fell in love with a Todd, then, I choose to be with Todd. So no other person, I ain't interested in nobody else right now. Mm-hmm. My sexuality has chose Todd.
Yep.
I could be with Todd for the rest of my life. However, if Todd and I break up, I might want to go to another Ben. But I might want to go with Annie. No, I don't want Annie. Ugh. I want to go with a name like Persia.
Oh, okay.
Give me a fancy name. Give me a name like Tekoa.
Okay.
Give me a name like, I like the name. I don't want to. I like Give me a name like. Can you think of a name?
Samantha.
Okay. So you know what? We thank you for joining us because she named me Samantha. Okay.
I couldn't think of like an elegant name. I was like, maybe think of like an Angelica, but I got all these old names.
Call me Gabrielle or Gabrielle. Yeah, that's angelic. Gabrielle. That's the name of an angel. One of the angels. I think it's Gabrielle. That's one of the names. A female angel, and she is the mother angel. She is the angel that when Adam. I hear one of my stories. When Adam and Eve gave birth, and Eve, it was Gabrielle who came down and assist. Gabrielle is the one of the uterus. She's a mighty godmother. She is the mother of birth and life. She has powers. She is awesome. So she's the one that does these things. So you can name me Gabrielle.
Okay. I like that. Gabrielle.
Gabrielle. I think it's Gabrielle. Well, something like that. Gabrielle.
We can call Gabby for short. Hey, yeah. Gabby.
Don't call me Gabby. I'm an angelic creature.
Okay, Gabrielle.
You gotta put that L because that L stands for authority.
Okay.
Like L. So just like when you may hear a name so now when I want to think of I can't think of no names with an L. Isn't this terrible?
Does start with an L?
No, holy name.
Oh, okay.
Like I can't even think of them. They have escaped my memory.
Does Raphael?
Raphael, Ariel,
Gabrielle.
Those L's, Elion, those that name. So when you call me Gabby, you gotta give me my title, Gabrielle. Gotta give me my goddess title.
Got you. I understand.
Okay. I believe it was Gabrielle who visited Mary and impregnated her.
That would be fitting.
She was the midwife, the sis. That's what I believe. This is my story. But anyway, I always like to dissect the Bible. I like to come from it from an esoteric point of view. I get a lot of my thinking and a lot of the way I think truly is from a Christian perspective, mixed also with Judaism, a Messianic Judaism, which I was before I converted and left all of it behind. I was born a Christian, then I became a Messianic Jew, then I was there for many years, and then I just walked away from all the chaos. And now I just believe in the teachings. I don't believe that no man or woman is over me.
Yes.
I believe that I am responsible for me. Mm-hmm. Whatever I want to know is out there in the universe for me. I believe that the God I serve, I don't believe in that, but just for the sake of argument, yes, the God I serve is big and live big in me, not outside of me. I am bigger and greater than this bag of flesh sitting in this chair. Although I can't tap into it because of what did I say that was?
The void.
No, it's the void. That's inside. But this is the dimension. This is like the sphere or that thing.
Oh.
What do they call it? I forgot the name. The cider, like you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. It's a name for it. It's the sphere. Even though you can't see anything, it just looks normal. It's only when you go in through this sphere do you begin to see. Mm-hmm. But when you go through, you disappear. No one can see this side. However, I can see both sides, but once you go through, you can't see. You just dissolve.
Almost like a black hole, but...
No, because you made a color. Let's see, she made a color.
I was just thinking about the principle of how they work.
But there are black holes, literally.
Okay, fair enough.
See? It's easy to get them mixed up, right?
Yes.
Okay, sure. But this is not a hole. It's just walking into nothingness. And I tell you, when you really let your mind think about it, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah, that is
because true. It's, you know why? Because you can't think of nothing. Because you always have to put something where there's a block.
Yes.
And it's hard to comprehend nothing.
That's why they have the number 0. Okay, we're finished.
And with that being said, we thank you for joining us. We feel like this was a live. You know, we really, really do. We haven't done a live in a while. So I guess this is just what we call our live. Mm-hmm. Thank you for joining us. We so appreciate it. We know it was informative. We went through all the news. It was esoteric indeed. It's just what's going on in the atmosphere and what's going on in the universe. Mm-hmm. It's affecting all of us. And with that, we hope you have a wonderful dinner, a wonderful breakfast, or a wonderful lunch, or a midnight snack whenever you get this. We wish you peace, love, and blessings. And with that, you know what we say? Sunflowers!